Morning. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Love 500. Have you had your cam belt done? Have you had your cam belt changed in an Abarth or a Fiat 500? If you have, stay tuned, because this might save you a lot of money. It might save you a lot of worry, and it may avoid you breaking down when you really don't want to. If you haven't had your cam belt done, if you're about to have your cam belt done, you need to make sure this has been done. Let's go. Let's show you how you do it and what it is. Okay, so if you have an Abarth or a Fiat 500, doesn't matter which, they're both the same. So the 1.4, 1.2 makes no odds. So if you are going to get your cam belt done, or you've had your cam belt done, and you haven't done this procedure, you are a ticking time bomb waiting for your car to break. It's very, very important. Now, we used to think that this could be done using just the accelerator, but yeah, and sometimes that might work. But more often than not, it won't. It has to be done using software such as MultiECUScan. Now, if you have your cam belt done by a garage, they should do this. I don't think they're all going to do it or even know about it in some instances. So if you're having your car cam belt changed at a garage, make sure, ask them when you book it in, please do this procedure. So I'm going to tell you what it is. So, as I say, I'm using MultiECUScan. If you want to do other things on your car, diagnose problems, do all sorts of things, if you've got flashing mileage, proxy alignments, all that sort of stuff, you need MultiECUScan. What you need is the software, MultiECUScan, which you can buy from MultiECUScan.net. And you need an Elm. Let me show you the Elm. You need one of these. So that plugs into the OBD port, which is down here. So we plugged that in. It's already plugged into my laptop, which I think is started up, yes. Okay, so what this is called is a Phonic Wheel Relearn. Let me just briefly explain what that is. So when as your car gets older and you're on your cam belt, bearing in mind, is made of rubber. That cam belt can very, very slightly stretch. And the car compensates for that. When you have a new cam belt, you're putting a brand new cam belt onto the correct size, obviously. And the car doesn't know that you've changed it. Now that will cause probably no issues whatsoever if you only drive around town. If all you do is go to the supermarket, go to school, go to work, you don't hit any fast roads, this may never be an issue. If you go on a motorway or a fast road and you approach 50 miles an hour plus, this is quite likely to happen. So what happens is all of a sudden you hear lots of bleeping, you look down at your speedometer, and the engine light comes up and the exclamation triangle light comes up and the car goes into limp mode, i.e. you can barely drive it. The car thinks that there's a misfire. I've had it on cylinders 1 and 4. I'm sure it doesn't actually matter which ones it is. The car goes into limp mode to stop you from doing any damage. If you pull over to the side of the road, switch the ignition off, leave it a few seconds, switch the ignition back on again, it will go away. You drive off, same thing, it will go again. As I say, that may never ever happen. Now, the mechanic that does my cam belts for me, he knows about this, but he says, oh, you don't need to do it using MultiECUScan. All you do is once the engine is heated up, it's very important that you heat the engine up so it's at normal running temperature. Then what you do, or what a mechanic may do, is accelerate to 6,000 revs, quite high, 6,000 revs. Makes a lot of noise. 6,000 revs, ease off, let the needle come back down to idle, 6,000 revs again, and you do that 3 times, and then that's it. Now, as far as a mechanic might be concerned, that's a Phonic Relearn. However, what you haven't done is zeroed it. So you haven't actually told the car that you've changed the cam belt. This may also be if you change a camshaft sensor as well. I understand you may potentially have the same issue if you change a camshaft sensor, which of course you'll only change if your camshaft sensor is broken. But every cam belt that's done, you need to do this procedure. So let me show you how you do it. So you need a laptop, you need that Elm, you don't need the yellow converter. Whenever you buy MultiECUScan and an Elm, you normally will buy a yellow cable as well, an adapter cable. We are going to connect to the engine ECU, the engine computer. To connect to that, you don't need anything additional. You don't need that yellow adapter. So I'm going to fire up MultiECUScan and I'm going to show you exactly how you do it. Okay, so there you can see in MultiECUScan, which is really simple to use. You click on engine, and then depending on which engine you have, you click on one of those. Now, quite a lot of the time, especially if you're in a 1.2, you can click on any of those except for the LPG one, and they pretty much work. It doesn't matter. Sometimes you'll get what comes up as an ISO error. You can ignore that. It doesn't really matter. So you turn the ignition on of the car. Don't start the engine. Turn the ignition on, and now what we need to do is connect to the engine ECU. So as I say, you select that and then you click down there on connect. That will then connect you to the engine ECU. Connect into ECU. And don't forget, the car must be at operating temperature. So you should be at normal operating temperature. So if you haven't been driving the car, just warm it up first. So then what we do is we go into adjustments. And as you can see there, we've got Phonic Wheel Relearn Reset. It tells you what you need to do there, pretty much. So you need to have the engine not running, but the ignition on. And then what we do, as you can see, engine light is up on this. That's because obviously I've not started the engine. So don't worry about that. But if you've had the issue, you may well have the engine light up and the exclamation. So what you do is you will then click on execute down there. It says please read all notes, which is those, so I suggest you probably read those, but we don't need to. Press on Y, and then what that does is that will put the engine light on because it's done the reset. You then have to do the Phonic Wheel Relearn. So that's completed. Okay, so what we do now is we start the engine. As you can see, because we have done the reset, the engine light is flashing, and we've got down there, we've got the exclamation mark. So that is what you will get if you have this error come up. And now to get rid of this, what we do is we rev the car to 6,000 revs 3 times. This is what the mechanics do, but they don't do the reset. So by doing that, normally sometimes does it on the second go, but on the third go, that engine light should go out and we should be good to go. So, okay, you ready? Here we go, 6,000 revs. Let go, get it back to normal, do it again. Let go, and do it again. Come back to normal, and there you go, the light has gone off. We've still got the exclamation light on down there, but what will happen is we'll switch the engine off, back on again, and that will go out. And that is all you need to do. So switch that off. So as you can see, exclamation light has gone off and the engine light has gone off as it did before. That is it. That is all you need to do. Quite simple, but you've got to have this software to be able to do it. So get yourself over to MultiECUScan and buy yourself this software and a cable. And do not drive your car on a fast road if this has not been done, because it is more than likely that you will break down. Now, it's not necessarily always going to do it. So I've had cam belts done on cars where we haven't done this, and I've never heard of it happening. But that may well be because those buyers have not been on a fast road. So sometimes it might work. My sister-in-law drove her car. She was an hour and a half's drive. She was doing about 55, 60 miles, something like that. And I got a frantic phone call from her. She was just about to enter the motorway, and it happened. So I told her to switch it off, switch it back on again, and keep her speed down. 10 minutes later, she called me again. It had done it again. It's the first time she was at 60 miles an hour. Second time she was at 50 miles an hour. So I had to go and meet her with my laptop, and I did it at the side of the road for her, and then she got down there fine, and then she got back fine a few days later. So it needs to be done. That's a Phonic Wheel Relearn. If you've had your cam belt done, or you're getting your cam belt done, or potentially if you've had a cam belt, a cam sensor done, crank sensor done, this needs to be done. I hope this video has been useful, and as I said at the beginning, it will save you a lot of money, a lot of worry and a lot of grief, and it will save you from breaking down at the side of the road. Thanks for watching. Hope this has been useful. Until the next one, as always, don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, hit that button, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and until the next one, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.